A young man by the name of Fulani shared his story on X about how he was kidnapped and managed to escape. Over the course of several weeks, he endured beatings, hunger, and being chained in the forest, facing dangers no one should ever experience. In his own words, this is what happened. Here is the full story of how I was kidnapped and how I eventually escaped from bandits. On October 23rd, 2025 around 10 a.m., I was kidnapped while working as a farm manager at a farm located in Okai-Ako, in a Ekole local government area of Ekiti State, very close to the Kogi State boundary. The farm is said to belong to the Ekiti State governor, but it was coordinated by a woman known as YSJ. That day, I was kidnapped alongside a tractor operator. After we were captured, we were forced to trek through the forest for 5 days before reaching their camp. Along the way, 9 other people were kidnapped from different villages and joined us. The kidnappers said they were Fulani, also known as Bororo, and they spoke Hausa fluently. During those days in the forest, we survived by eating yams and maize taken from farms and by drinking water from rivers. On the first day, the leader of the bandits ordered me to call the farm coordinator, YSJ. I told her that I had been kidnapped. She responded that I should not worry because the police and the army were already coming. But the phone was on loudspeaker. Immediately, the bandit leader pointed a gun at my head and ordered me to call her back and warn her not to involve any security forces. He said all they wanted was money. So I called her again and explained that the kidnappers were demanding ransom. The bandits demanded 100 million naira for me and 50 million naira for the tractor operator, making a total of 150 million naira. She said she would try to make arrangements. After that call, we continued moving from forest to forest, trekking barefoot. After 3 days, they allowed us to call our families. By that time, I had been beaten severely and was almost beaten to death. When I tried calling YSJ again, she refused to pick up and later blocked my number. So I called my mother and explained everything that had happened. After 1 week of negotiations, my family agreed with the kidnappers to pay 15 million naira. My mother and my younger brother chartered a vehicle and traveled to Kogi State to deliver the ransom. Some money was paid and my mother asked to see me. But the kidnappers said I was too weak to walk and promised that I would be released the next day. However, the next day, the bandit leader said my ransom was not complete and that 55 million naira was still outstanding. Quick one, subscribe and turn on notifications to get updates like this. You might never find this channel again. Now back to the story.
Alhamdulillah, abun nema ya samu. Godiya ta tabbata ga Allah. Kare ko. Nan miliyan 50 da nawa ne? Da uku ne. Nan miliyan 50. Nan ma miliyan 50. Alhamdulillah.
The tractor operator's family could only raise 2 million naira. The bandits said it was not enough. Despite the family's pleas, the leader shot the tractor operator twice, once in the chest and once in the stomach, killing him instantly. It was the most traumatic moment of my life. I was forced, alongside another captive, to carry his body and dump it in the bush. After about 22 days, I was the only captive left in that group, because others had been released after their families paid ransom. I was then moved to another location, where I was chained together with 2 other men. We were tortured and beaten by young Fulani boys guarding the camp. Our food was only plain white rice with salt. There was no oil and no seasoning. We drank river water, the same water the cattle drank from. After about 36 or 37 days in captivity, they allowed me to call my mother again. She said they could raise 1.5 million naira. The bandits insisted on 2 million naira for my release. On November 28th, my mother finally sent the 2 million naira through a transfer and it was confirmed received. But I was still not released. Later, one of the boys guarding us abandoned his post after being paid only 15,000 naira. When he left, he accidentally left behind the key to our chains and the torchlights. Late that night, I told the 2 men chained with me that this might be our only chance to escape. Even though we were extremely weak, we unlocked ourselves and began trekking through the forest. For 3 days, we survived only on river water until we finally reached a Hausa man's farm. We explained our situation to him, and he helped us reach the nearest village called Esanlu Esa in Ekiti State. By God's grace, there was an army base in that village. We met a major there and explained everything that had happened. I called my mother using one of the soldiers' phones. The army later contacted the village where I was kidnapped and arranged for us to be transported to Ekiti. We were taken to the Rapid Response Squad office in Ekiti, where statements were written. After everything, I was finally handed over to my mother and my brother. After my release, I went to cut my hair and treat my badly damaged feet. The following day, I was taken to a clinic for proper medical treatment. By that time, I had lost about 10 kilograms in weight. Today, I give all the glory to God for surviving such a terrible ordeal.